Gonna give it a few minutes and see who shows up while I'm getting my stuff ready. We'll start in just 1 minute. And I do have the chat open, but I am just going to warn you guys, I probably will not look at it until the very end so that I can pay attention to what I'm doing on the presentation. So, can everybody see the recruiting, the PowerPoint? Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Let's get this started. Recruiting. Everybody wants to know, what is the secret to recruiting? Well, let me tell you, there is no secret to recruiting. There is no secret to selling. There are just certain things that you have to do those things. That is the real secret. There is no magic. Everybody thinks that there's magic. It's not magic. It's just certain things that come together that make it happen. And okay, why is it not? There we go. And this is a quote from Jim Rohn. He was one of the most amazing network marketing men ever. He is like the guru of all network marketing. All of the great ones that you know of today all came from Jim. He's amazing. He died a few years ago, unfortunately. You can look him up on YouTube and listen to some of his speeches. They'll blow you away. He's fantastic. But like I said, success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. So, like I said, there's no magic involved. It's just how dedicated you are and how long are you willing to spend the time to do it. That's a huge part of it. But the question I've heard before is 2 to 5 years of working a business hard, crazy, or is working in a dead-end job for 40 years making very whatever amount but never really accruing wealth and being stuck in the same place? Or is that insanity? I mean, are you willing to give up 2 to 5 years of your life to build basically an empire is what you're doing? You're building a leveraged income. And for me, the answer is obvious. I am willing to do this without a doubt. But everyone has to make it their own. You have to decide what you want. Now, don't be offended by this. This is talking about, I did this on my own. True or false? I have consistently worked my business as well as I can. And I wrote on there, if you answered true, then you are a liar. Because we are all liars to ourselves. If I honestly said I consistently work my business as well as I can, I'd be lying to myself. But I have had days when I do really good and I have days when I do really bad. My days have gotten a lot better since I put a system into place. The early days, oh my gosh, I was so scatterbrained. things might have been going great, but I just felt like I had no organization whatsoever. But remember, ladies, you can also focus too much on the organization. There has to be a balance. And you can read the bottom part of the screen about, and like I said, this is really about me, but I think we can all feel that way. There's always something you can do extra in your business. Always. But there's usually not enough hours of the day. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. Yes, I'm talking about recruiting, but there's certain things, like I said, that you have to set in place to be able to recruit. What are ways we work without working? Why do I ask this? This is the stuff that I'm talking about that kind of sets up how we recruit, when we recruit, how well we recruit. Social media is probably the #1 most time-consuming thing that we do in our business. Our business is based on social media, so it's kind of hard to avoid it. Although I have to admit, personally, I sell a lot of stuff off of social media, and not so much on. Although, see, I have people that contact me, though. So I know my social media is working, but a lot of my people I see all the time, and they don't want to order their stuff online. They want to order it just through me and buy it straight from me, and I have no problem with that. But especially with Facebook, especially with Pinterest, all these great social apps, I don't know about you, but I can find myself getting lost in them for hours, hours and hours. Or especially in the beginning of your business, you find yourself checking your notifications all the time. Checking. Oh my gosh, somebody wrote a comment. Oh, I got to answer it. You will spend so much time doing that you'll kind of lose focus on all the stuff. You have to learn how to balance it, like I said. And balance for everybody is going to be different. Everybody's balance is different. You may work a different kind of job. You may work different hours. Everybody is different. Maybe a stay-at-home mom. You may have to do it when your kids are laying down, or even with them in your lap. I got 2 kids. They run me ragged. I own a martial arts school. If you think that this is all I do, it's not. I work. Trust me. I work afternoons and evenings at my martial arts school, but that's why my mornings you'll see me more online and be able to get a hold of me. So social media, you got to figure out how to balance it. Making lists of people and then putting off talking to them. That's going to be another reason why you're not recruiting. If you make the list and never talk to people, you're not going to recruit anybody. And guess what? If you don't talk to those people, eventually somebody else will. So don't put off what you could do. There's some tricks, and I've actually been posting some stuff about them online. One of them I want to pull up before we're done. I posted it earlier today, and I think it's the easiest thing you can do. Getting up in the morning and shooting all over ourselves. Do not be this person who gets up in the morning with all this list of stuff you want to get accomplished, and as you go along through the day, you go, well, I should do that, but I got to do this instead. I should do that. There is no shoulding. It's I will do this. I am going to do this. I'm going to block out time and I'm going to make it happen. You need to contact 5 to 10 people a day. 5 to 10. My daily planner that I have has 5 spaces at the bottom of the page. And I fill those spaces up at the bottom. So I know I consistently have 5 people. Now, some days I may not get to it, but that's okay. That means that the next day I got to contact 10 people. But by the end of the week, I better have all those people contacted. And that's 35 people a week. I think that's doable. Very doable. And you want to send personal messages or personal phone calls or personal texts. You don't Don't make it all sound, you can copy and paste some things or portions of it, but you still want to personalize everything. Otherwise, they're not going to feel like they're special. People want to be special. People want recognition. That's a huge part of being a leader. We let the drama and negativity take over our lives. Oh my gosh, do we let the drama and negativity take over our lives? I see it on our Facebook pages, ladies. I have had to seriously learn not to post on my Facebook page anything negative. I think I did a couple months ago, and I specifically even said, you guys never hear from me and something negative, but somebody was doing something to a family member of mine, and the only way I could reach them was through Facebook, and that was how I did it. I wasn't proud of it, but I had to get something, I had to make something happen, and it did, and I took care of it. But it is not something that I recommend. The best part about social media is, unlike when you're talking to somebody and you say something and all of a sudden you go, oops, I wish I hadn't said that. We actually can edit ourselves before we hit that post button. That is huge. So we should not be making the mistakes of sounding negative. And I'll tell you what, if you have to ask yourself, is this negative? Am I sure this isn't negative? Then it probably is. And just either reword it or think of something else to put. Just don't do it. Don't do it. This is another huge tool. Putting off our own personal development. And personal development can be many different things. It can be reading a book. It can be watching some videos online. My personal development is also looking at myself carefully, seeing things that I want to change about my leadership, and then implementing it. That's huge. And I look and find information on it, on how to be a better leader, how to do this, how to do that. It's all out there. We got the internet, and it is a powerful thing. So use it. And if you need, ideas of where to turn to, I put them in the pages, but I will be more than happy to help you with that as well. For several of y'all, if not many of y'all, I'm a mentor to you, and that's okay. If you guys need a mentor, that's all right. But I am going to tell you something. I'm not going to work with you if you're really not going to work it. I'll work with you in the beginning, but if you're wasting my time, you'll see less and less of me. I will spend less and less time trying to help you when you're not working it. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of ladies on this team that are working it, and they're very excited about making this happen. So if you're serious about it and you want mentoring, send me a message and we'll work on it. Trying to get to the next one. This is huge, and it leads back to it. Either you run the day or the day runs you. You must have a daily plan of action, and you must follow through. You need a planner. Cheap or expensive, you need a planner, and you need to use it every day. I used to think that my phone could handle my lifestyle, but I was wrong. Once you start a business like this, you really need a written planner. And I don't care what kind you use. I personally use the Erin Condren or whatever it is. If you want a link to that, let me know. I'll send it to you. But I am telling you, you have to have something that you can physically go back and look at. And I carry it everywhere, literally everywhere. And another quote from Jim. That today the theme is Jim. So Jim Rohn. So you're going to see all Jim Rohn quotes. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. That is something you have charge of. And it's true. Now, these are 13 tips for recruiting. Some of you have already seen them before, but I'm actually going to go through them step by step and explain what they are, how important they are, blah, blah, blah. Number one, Don't wait for the perfect sales rep. If you do, you will never grow an organization. I'll tell you what, my highest producing sales reps are not the people I thought they would be. And the ones that I thought were going to be rock stars just fell off and kind of disappeared. So do not prejudge anybody. And I've had people come up to me that I never expected and ask me about the business. So do not prejudge. I wish I had reached out to those people first because I felt bad that they had to come to me. I should have gone to them first. Never make their decision for them. Many people who you would think would be terrific at this will not be, and vice versa. That is exactly what I'm talking about. And we just had somebody join the team that perfect example. She is a high-level career woman, and I never thought she would be interested in working this business, and she contacted me, and I am super psyched about it because I know she is so passionate about this. And that was my bad for not ever contacting her ahead of time and asking her this. So if you're listening and you know who you are, I am so glad you joined, and we are all going to rock this. Number 3, talk sponsoring to everyone you meet, but don't try sponsoring everyone. There is a difference. There is a difference. Biggest example. When I am at a restaurant, I will ask the waitress, what kind of mascara do you wear? And she'll tell me. And I always ask that question first, just so you know. So that in case they are wearing our mascara, I do not look like a fool by saying, you need to try our mascara. Because I have to admit, there are some women that don't like it as big as we do. Or there are some women that maybe their mascara was getting old, and so it's not working as well. As y'all know, when you're getting towards the end of your mascara, you're putting on 2 coats instead of 1 coat, or 3 coats instead of 2 coats. So never assume that they might not be wearing our mascara. But that is a perfect example. I start talking to them about the mascara, and I talk to them a little bit about sponsoring, but I don't really ask them to join. I just tell them about a little bit about my experience, and then, or they'll even ask questions. That's the best part. I don't really lead the conversation. I start the conversation, but I let them lead the conversation. There's a huge difference. And I'll get to that in a few minutes too. Share the advantages of finding financial solutions with your company so that you can create sales organizations in your potential recruits. That is a long way of basically saying you need to find out what kind of dreams these people have and why they would be interested in making money. And then you basically hand them the solution with your business. It's that simple. That's what it means. So don't wait for someone to approach you. 9 out of 10 times they won't. That is so true. I think out of all the ladies I've recruited, maybe 4 or 5 have come to me. Maybe. That's tops. And that's, I really don't even think it was that high. Don't think of sharing only at parties. Recruits are everywhere you go. Just listen. There are recruits at, like I said, restaurants, nail salons, the grocery store, sporting events that your kids are at. Oh my gosh. Or even sporting events that you go as an adult and you're with a group of people. They're everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. I play a couple sports myself, and I sell when I'm out doing that. So, of course, I play sports since I do taekwondo, but I do other sports as well. I bowl and I play darts too. So, and I have ladies from both bowling, darts, and actually some of my taekwondo ladies. they're all recruits of mine. So you can find people everywhere. Don't focus only on those who need your business. Frequently, they won't be so effective at sales. There are many people out there who would be good at your direct sales company, and they should get as much or more attention. The golden rule is you spend 20% of your time with the 80% who does a little bit or nothing, and you spend 80% of your time with the 20% that is running with the business. You walk with your walkers and you run with your runners. Plain and simple. Just like I was discussing before. If you are one of my apprentices, or I'm your mentor, the more you work your business, the more of my time you're going to get. The less you do, you're going to find yourself disappearing. Not completely. I will always be here. And I understand things happen too. But there is a difference between making excuses all the time and having emergencies that come up. My examples would be, let's see, last week I got horribly sick and I was stuck at home for a few days. But I ended up going to the doctor so I would be okay for several events that I had going on. But the week before that, I spent 5 days in the hospital with my father. He was there, and the great thing about this business is I was able to be there with him. But I did have to let go of some of the things that I was working on. I didn't get to do a webinar, which I'm going to try and do these every Tuesday, like I've been saying. So those are emergencies. But if I called off the webinar all the time, every Tuesday I kept pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it off, y'all would get a little tired of it. You'd be going, well, she's not going to do what she says. So these are examples of, true emergencies and emergencies that you basically just let get in the way of your growth of your business. Number 8, tell people that they would be sensational at what you do. It is a compliment, and when you end it with a question, you will be surprised at the results. Your awesome personality would make you an awesome consultant. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? Is a simple statement that will generate results. That's self-explanatory. I don't even need to say anything. Look for attractive sales reps, but don't let looks deceive you. Look for someone who smiles and can get along with people, one who loves the products and believes that your company is best for her. Do they have to be beauty queens? No. In fact, honestly, those of us who aren't super classical beauty or super attractive are the best models for our makeup, because I love before and after pictures. Guys, I am the most plain Jane looking woman, but when I wear my makeup, I feel like a supermodel. And I don't mind putting my before and after shots on there, because it shows ladies that real people wear our makeup, not supermodels, or not just supermodels. Now, we have some gorgeous women on our team. Absolutely, we have gorgeous women. And I love popping some of their pictures in with my news feeds and all that, my groups and stuff. But I put as many real shots of the rest of us who are, halfway beautiful, or not, I should say not halfway beautiful, just not stunningly amazing Helena Troy, that kind of beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. Because what I don't have in looks, I definitely make up in personality. So it doesn't bother me at all. All right. And you should feel the same way if you're like that. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. All right. At home online parties. Offer your business every time you hear a compliment about your company or about you, the sales rep. Thank you. I love doing this. Would you like me to teach you about my company? Wow, that is simple language, just like the 2 above it, 8 and 10. Those are easy statements that you can practice and get in your head or type them, whatever, so that they just roll off your tongue like they're easy. If you're not comfortable or you don't have a set thing to say. So, okay. When you offer the business, are you emotionally or psychologically ready to sign up reps? Are you ready to close the deal by looking, listening, and asking the right questions to sign up recruits? Huge, huge deal. This is, if there is magic about this business, this would be the magic. Emotionally and psychologically, are you an attractive leader? Are you confident about what you are selling? Are you confident to be able to tell these people they need to come join you? And if you're not, you need to practice. You need to practice, practice, practice. Practice in the mirror. Practice with your spouse. Practice with your best friends. Practice talking to people casually about your business. I always keep things casual until people get excited about it. Then I just answer questions. Seriously, it is that easy. When you force things, you push people away. When you talk passionately about something, but you don't vomit on your people, that is what attracts your members to you, your recruits. And are you ready to close the deal by looking, listening, and asking the right questions? Honestly, you're looking for them to ask the questions. You're listening to what they ask, and you need to make sure you're listening to what they need out of this business. And then you are going to provide it for them by telling them, okay, here's a good example. I want to send my kids to college. I'm someone who's, say I'm a single mom and I'm doing all right, but I don't have that extra money to be able to save to help my, 10-year-old to be able to get ready for college. That's when you sit there and talk to them about, you could make, starting out, a couple $100s a month, and if you really work it, you could easily pay for their tuition. In fact, if you keep going, literally you could pay for their tuition with 1 month of commissions if you keep building your business. But don't overdo you're going to be a mascara millionaire, because guess what, we only have one in our company that's technically a mascara millionaire, and by that we call her that because she makes $83,333.33, blah blah blah, at least that every month. And that is Sherry Brown. She's the woman I'm always putting stuff on our page about. She's amazing. And let me tell you, Sherry would not be making that money if Sherry had not built a team, because her team is making that money for her too. It's not just her. She leads it, but her team is the one doing it. And if she wasn't energetic and powerful and charismatic, they wouldn't be pushing her to the top like that. So, yes, you can be a mascara millionaire, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take a couple years. It's good, she was doing it 18 months before she hit that mark, but she's there now, and we're pretty proud of her. Number 12, listen for temperature statements. A temperature sentence is one that indicates readiness. I think my neighbor would do a presentation. When you hear that, your response should be, great, are you ready to sign on the dotted line? Although I wouldn't say the dotted line, I'd say, great, you ready to sign up? I can walk you through it. We can do it right now. You want to meet with me? If you can, I love meeting with my ladies and signing them up, talking to them one-on-one. Huge one-on-one personal contact You want to make sure you stay in contact with your team. 13. Don't recruit. Share an exciting opportunity. I know I have already told you guys the video, Sherry Brown, The Art of Non-Selling. If you're not comfortable with sharing unique yet, you need to watch that video a few more times. And then you need to watch the video, The Art of Non-Selling for Recruiting or whatever. And basically all it's doing is telling you the same thing. You're sharing the opportunity with your friends just like you were sharing it to sell to them. You're sharing it to recruit them. It's the same thing. But I know one of our great leaders on our team has told me before that she watched the recruiting video from Sherry probably 20 times until she finally convinced herself that she wasn't pushing this on people, that she was offering them the chance of a lifetime. And that's what we're doing. That is what we are doing. Some of you that have been with other direct sales companies, you can let the other ladies know on our team page, or, I may start a thread in there. Let them know how different your experience is from what you did before. I can guarantee you have a different experience. All right. Here's some of my personal experiences that help me with recruiting. I'm upbeat. I always try and be upbeat. Even when I'm sick, I'm trying to be upbeat when I talk to people. And of course, share, don't sell. We've already said that. If you look on my pages, I do not do this. Join my team, buy this product, da 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 da. I post something, I say, how cute is this? Or I might say, hey, I got a couple of these on hand, so let me know if you need something. But that's it. I don't post my links. I let them come to me, and they do. And do not post your links even in the comment section. Send it in a personal message. Because that way you know who is actually interested. They're reaching out to you. Own your business. Don't let it own you. That is really hard to do, especially when you're working it really hard in the beginning. I worked my business to the point that I alienated my family, I think. They rarely saw me. I was cooped up in my bedroom, watching videos, doing webinars, doing this, doing that, making my team pages. Find a balance. Make sure you set aside time to spend with your family, because we need to remember the reason why we do this stuff. Make sure you're spending time with your friends. Guess what? If you're working your business online, you're not talking to people in person. And it's a lot easier to recruit people in person than it is online. I can guarantee that. Do I recruit people online? Absolutely. But the majority of my recruits, probably 75% or more, are people that I know one-on-one. Do not vomit. This is huge. I chased off a couple people in the beginning because I vomited all over them. Thank God they came back to me. I love them. They're awesome. But pay attention to people when they're squirming and you could tell they're like ready to quit listening to your spiel because you're overdoing it. Make sure you tell them, something simple like, man, I have been wanting this, whatever, electronic. I've been wanting to get an iPad for my kid for forever. Well, guess what? I got to buy my kid an iPad by selling mascara. And I can't wait to see what I'm going to get to buy him next month or whatever. And then they'll start talking to you. That is an easy opening without vomiting on them. And don't jump in. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. No auto ships, no websites, no this, no that, blah, 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 blah. 1 point at a time. 1 point at a time. and let them ask you, well, how much is it? Well, you know what? It is only $99 and you get a bunch of cool makeup too. I wear everything. I use everything unique. So even if I never worked the business, I still got my money's back, my money's worth. Easy peasy. Don't get bogged down in the details. I am not one of the people that gets bogged down in the details. I actually could use a personal assistant. But guess what? Because I let the details fall to the side some, I was able to concentrate and use that enthusiasm and go with it and just build my business right off the bat. It made it much easier. Now I'm starting to get back into the details. That's what I'm trying to give to you. And I try and do all this stuff in our team pages to save you from having to do the details, if that makes sense. Don't waste your time on so much detail. What's an example? Events. If I have an event pop up and I have a chance to get it, I will jump on it. If I can't do it, I'll pass it on to one of my team members. But I can guarantee I will have somebody there at that event to work it if I can't do it myself. That would be not getting bogged down in the details. What's the date? Okay, no problem. I haven't even cracked my book to see if that date's available because I know I'll have somebody that can take care of it. And if you can't, talk to your sponsors. They'll help you. They'll figure it out. They'll keep coming up the chain. We're all here in this together, ladies. Now, this is one I have talked about with several people who are having trouble recruiting. Act like you have a team already. When you're recruiting, you want to make it sound like you have a big team. My very first recruit had no idea they were my first recruit. But I had 4 more later that week. So even though she was she was my first recruit, I had them bam, bam, bam right after that. But none of them knew that they were my first recruits either. They didn't realize how new I was. I didn't let it show. That's why the Fusion page is so awesome, because everybody gets dropped in there. No one has any idea how big your team is. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, as your team grows, then you can start bragging. Well, I got 20 members. I got 50 members. I got 100 members. I got 300 members. I'll have to check. I think we're at 315 last time I checked before I got online, but it could even be more than that. Last but not least, be confident. You should be able to be confident because the products are amazing. And you don't have to think about it as selling. You are just sharing your personal experience with your friends, which you would do if you were buying a car, if you were going to a restaurant that you liked, if you were going to see a movie that you liked or didn't like. You are sharing your opinion of something. That's all you're doing. And your best recruits are obviously going to be customers. That's, I've had a few that have never tried it before, but generally your customers have tried the product. So, but be prepared for both. Welcome to the journey. We're starting on the yellow brick road. Da, da, da. All right, last thing. And this is a huge one. This is what I was talking about. Take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communication skills so that when the important occasions arise, you will have the gift, the style, the sharpness, the clarity, and the emotions to affect other people. I was not born a leader. No one was born a leader. That is something we learn. We learn it through our experiences. We learn it from our parents. We learn it from our friends. We learn it from our teachers. We learn it. I don't care what anybody tells you. You are not born a leader, just like you are not born a teacher. That is why there are really bad teachers and really good teachers. The good teachers take the time to learn how to teach, plain and simple. The good leaders learn how to lead. So that's where the personal development comes in. That's where practice comes in. And when you get your practice in and you get your communication skills to the level that you're confident and comfortable, that is when your recruits will be knocking at your door. That is when they're going to be ready for you. And you need to be ready for them. And you've got plenty of leaders in this team to be able to help. And bottom line, find your own style and work on it. Everyone's different. Learn to read people and you will be a recruiting fool. Plain and simple. Learn to read people. Don't force yourself. Let them direct the conversation. And don't push. And I guess I should say one last thing. Don't sound desperate. You are not desperate. I know sometimes it feels like we're desperate, but you're not desperate. But you do need to recruit. Otherwise, you will be wearing yourself to death trying to sell everything yourself. And we don't want that for you. In the beginning, it's easy to sell. It's extremely easy. But then it starts getting harder. And then you're doing more reorders. So you need to build your team. Or you need to look for events. Events are great places to get leads for people that might sign up with you. So anyway, I'm going to switch back over, see if anybody has any questions, and I'm sure you might. Does anybody have any questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat box before I jump off of here. Anybody? And if there are things that I didn't cover tonight, that's fine, because guess what? There are a lot of topics about recruiting. I can't possibly hit them all in one night. It's just not possible. But there are some books that you can read. Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers is a great network marketing book. There is a program that I know I've suggested to everybody, the Success Toolkit, and I'll post it again. My link wasn't working though, so I'll double check that. That's 6 free lessons that will help you with all of your stuff, with organization, with recruiting, with leading, with selling, and there's a lot more to it if you want to sign up, but you do not have to sign up. You get a lot out of those 6 20-minute YouTube videos. Anybody? No questions. I'm just shocked. I am shocked. But find yourself, find your style, and work it. Make it work. You have to be comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, your people that you're talking to are not going to be comfortable either. And they're not going to sign with you. And we want that to happen. There is a personality test that I have posted, the Tony Robbins personality test. I suggest you take the test and then reach out to your sponsor, or even come to me. If your sponsor is no longer active, or you want to just send me a copy of it. We'll go over it. We'll talk about your strengths, and the nice thing about that is it really doesn't talk about your weaknesses. It talks about your strengths and what you need to work on. And I like that. It doesn't point out a whole lot of stuff that you need to, that are bad. So anyway, I don't see any questions. So I'm going to finish this up tonight. Next week, I haven't picked the topic yet, but I am going to be thinking about it. I'll probably go off that poll that I had in the Google Plus. If you're not a member of the Google Plus Mastermind group, Please ask me. I'll send you a link. That we're trying to get away from Facebook. So you guys are awesome. The team is just doing amazing this month. So contact me if you need to. Otherwise, y'all be safe in this crazy weather, and I'll see you next week. Bye.